What can I do for you? Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum.
So you can leave.
Tafadhal.
Online or the floor?
Yeah, but Tafadhal, go ahead. Bismillah.
Initials MA from London, UK. Is it mocking the deen if a man as an Eid gift buys his wife inappropriate clothing or lube, and he gives this to her on Eid as a gift?
Type Bismillah. Question is concerning, is it mocking the religion if you buy your wife inappropriate clothing or lewd clothing? I'm assuming like meaning stuff that you can't wear outside in front of non-mahrams. Okay, so first and foremost is beware of waswasa. And one of the main objectives of waswasa is to cause duress and distress. And nothing is going to cause a believer greater distress than becoming a disbeliever. That's the greatest fear. That's the most precious and valuable thing you have is your iman. So if the shaitan can get you to feel that you violated that, that's the ultimate what? He's broken you. And right afterwards comes, there's no point in living anymore, suicide. So be careful. And one of the main ports or places of attack for waswas is fearing mockery. Is it mockery if I have halal on my cup, then I put it in the trash? Is it mockery if I have Abdurrahim written on this and then I play sports, this on my is it mockery if I say, oh, your beard is missing a piece, It gets you to overthink and to look into things thinking that it's disrespecting or desecrating Islam. In reality, it is not. And if it was, that was never ever your intention, or I didn't even know it had it on a cup. So be careful. If you buy your wife some inappropriate clothes, some intimates, what does that have to do with her hijab? Obviously, she doesn't wear it outside the house. What's the problem? You give it to her on Eid, Jumu'ah, doesn't what? Yeah. Allah Akbar. It's the Eid, huh? Tell you, we're going to stop what? All right, we're not going to go on any other hadiths. The days of Tashriq, right? Wallahu alam. Allahu musta'an. Fadl John.
What are your thoughts on similarity between the Prophet saying and saying that war is deception and so and so?
What are my thoughts on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, war is deception, and what Sun Tzu said? I believe that it's a universal thing. That any man, and obviously with the Prophet ﷺ's hadith, revelation, we're not discussing that. We're just talking about, right, the similarities. Let's, not lose focus of that. That's just basic knowledge and basic wisdom. Looking at nature. This animal only hunts and catches its prey because of deception. This animal only escapes. It's not a predator, it's prey, but it gets away from the predator because of deception. A possum, or shoot its tail or leg. Squids, octopuses, they can lose one of their tentacles. They'll let it go, and it'll regrow, right? changing color, looking bigger, etc. So outwitting and outsmarting, and there are going to be times and situations in which someone's going to be bigger than you, faster than you, more aggressive than you, and you have to be what? Outsmarter, more clever. So warfare is dangerous, right? It's risky, it's hazardous, right? And if you look at Sun Tzu's Metin, and those who explained it, and those who came before him or after them, they all said the same thing. It was well known to the ancient Chinese that war or that weapons are instruments of ill omen, right? Ill omen, not beloved by heaven, and they're not to be trifled with. But at the same time, those philosophers lived in a kingdom in which there were kings and warriors and generals, so they knew that warfare was inevitable. So if you're going to do it the what? The right way. And from that is minimizing the danger and the hazard and the risk, because those weapons they're jumpy. So therefore you got to learn how to what? And minimize locking horns as much as you possibly can. Let alone another way of looking at it with regards to the similarities of psychology, human psychology. There are men who are haughty, right? By nature, aggressive, extremely prideful, conceited, thinking that, so therefore you use that what? Against them. I'm weak and tired and scared and, oh yeah, really? Say it louder, say it again. You're scared of me. Ah. And then next thing you know, take this, right? The faint retreat. And subhanAllah, you just look at the history, many different nomadic people, they used faint retreats. The Mongols did not invent it. They did, but they perfected it. And the craziest thing, if you study about the Mongol conquest, to me, this is the most mind-blowing thing about the faint retreat, is that even after they had conquered so much land and destroyed and devastated so many haughty opponents, and the people knew that was in their playbook, it still worked. It still worked because of human psychology, pride, and the feeling of I'm in charge and I'm dominant. Just imagine that now. I know that it's a ruse. I know it's fake, but they're running from us. We got to follow them. And the next thing you know, wallahi, it's amazing if you think about it. So it's a trick that just doesn't what? It doesn't stop. Khud'ah. And oftentimes, man, he deceives himself. And all I did was just help you along the way. I just pushed you in the direction of what?
You was already
You had it what? Coming, as we would say. It's very interesting. And there are many manifestations of the deception and warfare if you read and study how they would light more fires back in the day to cause fear in the enemy's heart, make it look like they just said they had the fake jets, satellite views, thinking that they were, it never stops to this what? To this very day. Below Alam.
Initials MA from Canada, Toronto. Can you tell me what the Arabic word can translate into English? I've heard it translated as was or did, but I'm not sure.
Kana has several meanings in the Arabic language, let alone in the English language. There are times, and very important, which kana al-istimrar, wad-dawam. Kana means continuation, future, present and future tense. Wa kana Allahu ghafura rahima. Not and Allah was, Allah is, and will always be most forgiving, most merciful. So there are several usages and meanings of the word kana, and several translations that you can have from that word. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
Initials RA from Calgary, Canada. What's the age of intimacy in Islam for boys and girls? I don't mean the age of signing the nikah papers, but the actual act.
I don't know of any age of intimacy in Islam mentioned by any scholars. That which they mention is the ability and the desire to do so. That varies from person to person. That which is a means of capacity and desire, right? Let alone one of the most important objectives and aims of marriage is reproduction. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Initials PA from Birmingham, UK. Last week you had said to think about why some scholars said Arabs should not be taken as slaves or
Tayyib.
captives. What was the reason? I can't think of one.
You weren't supposed to think, you were supposed to research. Right? Mahad, Fadal. What did you find? Bismillah. Why did he say it? It's why.
That's the Arabs were the ones that were given the Quran. They have like status above.
So the Arabs had a status above others. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I know.
Yeah, I believe they say that this is a statement attributed to Umar ibn Khattab, where he prohibited making captives of the Arabs because they were the ones who carried the Quran, and that it also would, being that the Arabs were the ones who were going out and conquesting, for them to fight internally and take each other as captives would make them weaker.
Tayyib. Anybody else? Nothing else? Jazakallah khairan. I'm not saying that. Prophet was Arab. Okay, Tayyib.
The Arabs are from the lineage of the prophets.
They were from the lineage of the Prophet, so they had an exception or exclusion. Anything else? Nothing outside of the box? Tayyib, Fadl. I can't say I agree or disagree. Next question.
Initials TU from Seattle, Washington. Can I request you do street dawah in black communities? I think your way of speaking and knowledge can get across to a lot of people.
Jazakallah khairan. Inshallah, we'll try our best to fulfill your wish, take your advice. Barakallahu fikum.
Initials LAY from Seattle, Washington. Should a student who is still in the first chamber only focus on Arabic and the Quran rather than attending a weekly halaqah or studying additional Islamic sciences?
Tayyib. Should a student who's only in the first chamber only focus on Quran and Arabic and not attend the weekly halaqah, so on and so forth? No, that doesn't mean that. Over the years, we've said focus on Arabic and Quran. Key word, guys, is what? Focus. That doesn't mean that there's nothing else, but it means my what? Focus. It's like an image. It's focused on a thing, and then you see what? Key word. Inna al-alfadha qawadibul ma'ani. The words are the loaves of the meanings. They contain the meanings. You got to look at the words. Focus. So if I have 24 hours out the day, how many hours out of the day am I spending studying? I'm a full-time student. 18, 15, whatever the ratio may be. All right. So you sleeping for what? Let's say for argument's sake, I sleep for what? Let's say what? 7 hours. So 7 minus 24 is what? 17. All right. So I got 17 hours. What else is left? Eating, praying, relieving myself, exercising, let's say. Socializing. All right, so how many hardcore hours study in my HUD out of 17?
4 to 5.
5 hours to eat, to drink, to pray, to do the other stuff? What do you guys say?
5 to 6 hours a day.
5 minus 17, so 11 hours to do the other stuff? He said 7 hours sleep.
12 hours to study.
You talking about a student, not a
Full-time student, keyword.
I said 5 to 6. I said 5 to 6 hours study.
full-time
That's
student?
what I said.
Maybe 2 hours.
10 hours a day. Yeah,
Maybe
sir.
2 to 3 hours.
So 7 hours on socializing, using the bathroom, eating, drinking, exercise. Wow. You agree with that, Mahad?
It might be far.
It may be far, huh? It may be stuck in traffic. Allahu Akbar. Man, we lost. Ahmed, huh? Allahu Musta'an. 17 hours. I was thinking you guys were going to say 15 hours studying. 2 hours for the other stuff. 7 hours sleep is too long, but for argument's sake. All right, tell you, Al-Muhim. So the majority of those 12 or 10 hours is on Quran and Arabic. My systematic studying is on Quran and Arabic. The peak of my energy is on Quran and Arabic. I'm walking to the class, I'm reading a book on Sirah. I'm listening to a lecture on Sirah. The sheikh of the camp, the markaz, the sheikh of the university, there's a nightly lecture after Maghrib is on Aqeedah or fiqh. You can sit in that class, you can benefit from that class. You're going to pick up a book, but your main focus is going to be on Quran and Arabic. So that's what's meant by that. It doesn't mean for 2 years, 3 years, just Quran, just Arabic. La, abadan. Abadan. That's not what's meant by that, no? Regardless of the chamber that you're aspiring. Wallahu alam. No. Nafis.
Initials KB from Montreal, Canada. What should one do if they observe multiple groups, each claiming to follow the Sunnah, but one labels others as Khawarij and the others as Murji'a, even though they don't know each other, and both seem to follow the same core principles? This difference is...
Take the good from both of them and avoid their squabbles and their fighting. Stay away from it at all costs. At all costs. Wallahu alam.
Initials KB from Montreal, Canada. Do you take notes on a paper or electronically? Briefly, what's your go-to system for note-taking?
Me personally, if I'm taking notes, I'm old-fashioned. I'm gonna take them with a pen and a pad, whether it's in the book or the paper. I'm old-fashioned. I do use technology. Anyone who knows that about me. Read, record, upload, PDF. But just note-taking, I think that the speed and is writing down. And then you can take a photo of your notes, you can cloud your notes, you can scan your notes, right? You can mark up the PDF, etc., etc., etc. Wallahu alam.
Initials HH from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Are all the mawquf hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari sahih and some are weak? How did weak hadith get past Imam al-Bukhari?
Questions regarding the mawquf narrations in Sahih Bukhari, are they all authentic? How did weak things get past Bukhari? The question is a bit contradictory. At the end of the day, Imam al-Bukhari's condition and standard is al-hadith al-marfu', al-jami' al-sahih, al-musnad, al-mukhtasar, min hadithi Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wa sunanihi wa ayamihi. So the thing that you have the right, meaning speaking in second person, not you or me, but a critic, has the right to say, hey, Bukhari, you got this wrong. You didn't uphold it. It's only the marfu' hadith that have the full sanad. If Imam al-Bukhari quotes a hadith without a full chain, you can't call him hypocritical. If he quotes one of the Sahaba or the Salaf, he never said that the hadith that is full version is the thing that I consider to be sound. Now, that doesn't mean that the mu'allaqat don't have full chains in or outside of Bukhari. That doesn't mean that the mawqufat aren't collected by Ibn Abi Shayba or Abd al-Razzaq and this one and that one in their books. But Bukhari is meaning to give you them quickly, lightly, easily. So it's not a shart that everything is sound 100%. That's not his shart. Wallahu alam.
Initials SD from Queens, New York. Assalamu alaikum Mufti. Can a 15-year-old attend your classes, attend your lessons in person at the masjid? Also, is it open for sisters as well? If so, what days? Barakallahu feek.
Wafikum barakallah. There's nothing wrong with 15-year-old coming to the class, and there's nothing wrong with sisters coming to the class. The masjid is the house of Allah. It's open for all races, all walks of life, man, woman, and child. And that's right. Ahsant. That's right. Disciples from the jinn. Ala kulli hal, the class is Wednesday after Salat al-Isha for now. Wallahu ta'ala alam. And very important, I will say this, a misconception about studying is that you have to understand everything in the class. No. You can go to a class and you can only get 30%. That's a benefit for you. I might only get 50%. That's a what? It's a benefit. I'm not even on this level. I'm not studying comparative fiqh, but it's still going to be a benefit. The dhikr, information, and most importantly, whetting your appetite for more. I'm studying the Umdat al-Ahkam, systematically studying that smaller book, memorizing it, sharh. Lulu Marjan is Hafidh bin Hajar al-Fulan Nawawi, but it still is teaching you the way. Wallahu alam.
And this is KB from Montreal, Canada. What are the tools necessary when studying the deen?
Tools necessary for studying the deen: sincere intention, purpose, aspiration, self-esteem, confidence, trust, selflessness. That's a fact. Good health, free time, money. If you want to study successfully, these things are required. You don't have to worry about anything else if you have that. You trust Allah, you put your trust in Allah, you have sincerity for Allah, Bismillah. Everything will come to you, inshallah ta'ala. Hard work, consistency, patience, that's what's the most important thing. And that's why we focus on those things in the way of the disciple. Of course, there are other skill sets, teacher, books, usul al-fiqh, of course. But the concept of the psychology of the student of knowledge. And from that is the plague of 9 out of 10 students and disciples today is that they're quitters. They quit. They start and they stop. That's a poor mentality to have. May Allah help us all.
And this is AH from Dearborn, Michigan. Is it haram for doctors or pharmacists to prescribe or give medications that cause harm to patients while knowing of safer alternatives that work at full cure, such as black seed?
Well, if it's something that's agreed upon and they even know it and believe it, then of course. But just because you feel or know this about black seed doesn't mean they do. But in general, if you know this is poison to people, then the answer is self-explanatory.
This one order food here?
Inshallah. Fadal. خلاص إن شاء الله. فضل. حياكم الله.
What's the best translation or way of understanding sallallahu alayhi wa sallam?
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Some say, may Allah exalt his mention, some say, no.
Clear. Well, from my limited knowledge, there's no one thing that the scholars of Islam agree upon. Many hold the view that the qawl al-rajih ذكره في الملأ الأعلى. لكن هذا قول من الأقوال. هذا قول من الأقوال. So therefore, however you translate it, as long as it's respectful and a means of bounty and good, then I don't think you're going to go wrong. So me personally, the concept of that being a qawl al-rajih, yani, seems strong. Abu al-Aliya, al-Riyahi rahimahullah, and others. But that's in Arabic, let alone the word salah. You'd be shocked if you look at all of the meanings of the word salah in Arabic. كثيرة جدا. So, متقارب يعني. متقارب. May peace be upon him. May Allah. And then on top of that, I think it's, يعني لما نتحدث, we talk about translation and interpretation, there's a difference. So if you say La ilaha illallah, there's no God but Allah. We're talking about just translation. I don't think you can differ with that translation. But the meaning of it and the breakdown of it is different what? Story. La ma'buda bihaq. There are many gods. There are countless what? Gods. But they're all false and futile, made up, innovated. But if you're just talking about the translation, then huwa yani. Wallahu alam.
And this is HH from Dearborn Heights.
In the concept of Allah, God sends prayers upon Muhammad. I mean, What does any person in his right state of mind understand from that? That God's praying to him? That's just common basic sense. And just think about, wow, God send prayers to him or me or upon me. The first thing you're going to understand is there's something what? Something, absolutely. Absolutely. Wallahu a'lam.
Initials HH from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Can we say someone who doesn't believe that leaving the actions of Islam has irja?
We'll stop here tonight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabiyina wa imamina Muhammad. Jazakumullah khair.